Okay, this is going to be my first video, and I hope you can hear me. I'm going to check all that, of course. First off, I've created a software program that allows you to add all your Bitaxes. It does work with other Axe OS based devices, but I built these for the Gamma. Um, so that's how it loads. You should be presented with this blank screen. Uh, I've done a little bit of work to add some fancy effects. Yeah, we have sound effects now. Generally, when you're presented with this, you want to go up to the settings, get this guy open so that you can add a miner. And this should pop up. You add your local IP for your miner, whatever it is. In my case, it's 212. We'll call this guy a gamma. We want to make sure if you want to use the features for this guy, auto tuning has to be enabled. You can just use it as a monitor. It will load all your information, show you the temperature and all that kind of stuff. You'll see here in a moment. I had it defaulted, so this is so you can change how the dials look a little bit, what the max value is for the hash rate, for your frequency, for voltage and temperature. I did this because it does work with AxeOS. So if you do have other devices and their hash rates are lower or frequency, so on and so forth, you can adjust it so that the visual looks good. Anyways, this one is I'm going to put it at 25. Everything is in gigs because I just thought that was appropriate. Max frequency, usually I don't fuck with this. Max voltage, these devices can take 1500. You're going to probably burn it out real quick. But I just leave that for the display value because it just looks nice. And max temperature. Everything can be changed for the Celsius. For the display, you can go into the global config, and there's an option to change it to Fahrenheit, and it'll display Fahrenheit for you. So here's your auto tuning min and max limits for your miner. Um, so you can set the minimum frequency, the max frequency, minimum voltage, and your max voltage. I always like sitting it within, and then you do have overrides. So there's a global setting runs in the background when you hit the auto tuner option, and it just kind of looks at everything and tries to keep it at a nice temperature and tries to stamp up the voltage and frequencies depending on how the hash rate is going and a bunch of other stuff in the background. Yeah, we can leave this blank, add that sucker in, and away you go. You got your first miner card. I had one person ask me about resizing these, and because there's already a feature in it that if you resize the window, it resizes things already. It kind of broke it broke the script, and it just didn't. The logic doesn't work together, unfortunately. Maybe in a future release, I can make a more complicated script that allows for that. I have plans. Anyways, so there you go. You're presented. You got your hash rate, you got your temperature, you got your current frequency and voltage and all that kind of stuff running. I decided to include the IP address, the ASIC model, what version of the board you're running, because there are some different boards out there. Your VRM temp is your voltage regulator temp, and of course a power. Um, and then I thought it would be handy to have the shares accepted and rejected showing in there, just some more information. I am planning, and I have had some suggestions for having more of the information available. For instance, the efficiency, like the joules to terahash and all that. That will be coming. Anyways, if you find these sound effects annoying, please let me know. I just thought I'd throw them in for something fun to try and do. So you got your guy. Up here you have an overall stats showing. So it'll give you a total hash rate of everything that's loaded. If you only got one miner, it's only going to show that. Same with the power and the temperature. So it averages out the temperature between all your miners to give you an idea of what everything is running at. Same with the power. If you have 6 miners in there, it's going to give you a total of how much power you're using. It's similar to that joule efficiency, so I might just even add that into this as a part of the total power. It'll give you a wattage as well as a joule terahash efficiency. Um, anyway, begin tuning. Press that button. Whoa, ho, 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 I love that sound effect. Anyways, here we go, and so it'll do its best. Basically, what's happening in the background here is it's looking at your configuration. It looks at your settings and the global settings and checks everything to make sure that it's happy, it's within the temperature range that you've set, and that it doesn't that it meets the hash rate, all of those bits. And then it will try and up the voltage and frequency, um, keeping in mind your temperature. It'll try not to go over your temperature set either in the global or per miner setting. It now aggressively will save miner settings and keep the tuner active. It basically does a kind of a trick in the background where it ignores some things and applies those settings immediately because it was slow to do that. Basically, what I found is that what it was trying to do with the logic was wait until the next pull interval to activate the tuner again in the background, and that just made things look weird. So that's been fixed. Um, Again, in here you have an edit miner. You can come back in here or change settings anytime, like I said, and it will override. Let's say, let's push it for a little. Save that, and now we have a higher temp range. Let's boost this sucker up. Max frequency set to 800. Yeah, no, these are pretty good. Um, and so we'll save that. And yeah, as you can see here, it is slowly but surely boosting up the frequency, and the voltage has been maxed out. I usually do that with the voltage because I don't want it to do anything. That weird static noise, you'll notice that if you look and stare at this long enough, when the static goes, there's some glitches happening, and I did that just for a visual effect. I don't know. I'm a very visual person and very artistic, so that's me. If it annoys everyone, if you don't like some of these things, maybe I'll make an option to just mute sounds and or just remove sounds altogether. That being said, I hope that this works really well for everyone, and I will be taking suggestions, compiling a list of things to try and update in the future for it. Um, Again, I have plans to turn this into an actual device-based admin interface so that you can have like I don't know, let's say a $10 device that I'll mail to you. You plug that sucker in to USB, and boom, you've got your admin panel on your local connection. I'm not sure how robust I can make it on these little devices as far as the visual effects go, but it will perform the same functions as this does. And I'm hoping to do what is called a stratum proxy. So it will delegate and make your miners a little bit more efficient doing that in the background. Um, Basically, I'm doing a lot of this because I am planning on, well, I am running my own node at the moment at home on a Raspberry Pi, and I mine to that. And so I'm hoping that with that proxy, I can make it a little bit more efficient for those guys that want to do that whole meal deal at home, helping secure the Bitcoin network, helping to decentralize everything. Anyways, signing off. Hope you enjoyed this little video, and I hope it helps explain a few things. Oh, hey, but before I stop altogether, the activity log, I dumbed it down. It used to give you all of the API information that was happening in the background, and anything that was happening was scrolling through there. So I dumbed it down. You can still, with open log folder, see everything. These are your log files for everything. The miner history is a file that is created over time. Basically, what it attempts to do is find the best hash rate, temperature, voltage, frequency combination. And when you come back to the application, if you say close it after a week and you decide, yeah, you're happy with the settings, you don't want to run the app anymore, come back 3 days later, you open it up and it will go, oh, hey, I remember that last time this setting was the most efficient, gave you the best hash rate, whatever it is, and we'll apply that. Yeah, because that's the idea, is that this thing will try and find the best setting for your miner in the background, and keep that setting applied. Because obviously you can tweak it all you want, but you're going to spend all day just messing around with settings. The idea is to get to an efficient, nice setting that keeps within a temperature target and keeps it there. Anyway, that's that. You can view the last 1,000 lines of the log right in here, just a little pop-up window for you to kind of see what is happening. If there isn't anything that you don't understand in here, sometimes there is messages that are a little bit confusing, like it says backend tuning loop will new use settings on its next cycle. Not that one. But there is sometimes messages in here like tuning cycle complete. Oh, it's not actually complete. It's just completed its task for that moment. Um, yeah. So anyways, enjoy this. My name is Shay. I am Canadian, and I'm one person that's trying to play around, put this together. I really think this is important for people, and having a decentralized future, I think, is important for the world. So I'm 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 full on into this, and I hope you guys enjoy. Take care.